Howdy, and welcome to TBKHomeworld. And in this video, we're going to be talking about some of these small power stations from Ryobi. So some of you may be looking at these power stations and going, that's a power station? Those things are so small, what could they actually do for me? Well, something like this one, the P743, it's actually going to do just USB. However, you can pick up one of these RYI 150BG models, and this actually has a converter in it that will turn the 18 volt to 120 volt. So you can use this to power certain things within your house. Now you may be looking at something like this and thinking, what in the world would I hook up that could put out 1.25 amps or about 150 watts? Well, I actually have a story with this one that might prove to you that something like this is just what you need. A few years ago, we had a very harsh cold snap here in Texas. Everybody around the world was talking about it. We hit temperatures never before seen here in Texas. Where we were at, we were without power for an extended period of time, days. During that time period, my mother was still alive. She couldn't move very well, and one of the things that she had in her home to help take care of her was a powered recliner because she couldn't do the harsh movements, had to be a nice, slow, gentle power recliner. Interestingly enough, this little thing came in clutch. It saved her bacon. We could plug her chair into this, and it had enough power that it could easily recline the chair and stand up the chair. And it was one of those that actually stood up the person as well, and it would do the full motion all off of this 120 volt plug that is here. So do they have valid functions? Absolutely they do. Now, are they going to run a heavy duty power drill? Of course they're not going to do that. But for our particular situation, it was an absolute game changer for us. Now, the other nice thing about this particular unit is it also has built on the top a nice little light that goes with it, but we also have two USB-A ports that are on here, and these go up to 2.4 amps. The other nice thing about this one is it does have an on-off switch that's on the top. So whenever you put your battery in, any of the 18 volt 1+ batteries will work with this. You can turn it on and it goes from red as it's starting the converter up, and then it goes to green whenever you can use the converter. Whenever the light is green, you can turn on and off the flashlights, you can use the USB ports, and you can use the 120 volt port as well. Whenever you're done with it, you just touch the button and it shuts itself off. During that entire time, remember, we were out for days. I think it was 4 straight days we had no power. This did the chair multiple times a day, and it didn't even drain a single battery during that time period. So it did a phenomenal job. Having the flashlight on there actually really helped my father a couple of times as well. He'd reach down and turn this thing on whenever he needed extra light, and it worked well in their situation. So that's the older unit. I've had this one for quite a while. Let me go ahead and open up this newer unit now. So this is model P743, and this comes as a kit. So you're actually going to get a 1.5 amp hour battery and a charger with it. Now this is limited. All it is able to do is to charge 2 USB ports simultaneously for a maximum output of 2.1 amps. And unfortunately, that's all the features that this thing has on it. So it's very basic with what comes within the package. We have the topper charger, and all you do for something like this is you literally just put it on the top of your battery, plug it into the wall. There's nothing special about this charger in any way, shape, or form, but if you don't have any other chargers for Ryobi tools, this would actually work really well, and it's very compact. That's the other really nice thing about these toppers, is this is something that's extremely simple to throw in a backpack. For example, if you do have like a bug out bag, then you could throw this in pretty simple because of how small it is. So don't throw these away if you have them. They may actually come in really handy for you. And of course, we have the standard 1.5 amp hour battery. This one is not charged, so we're not going to use it. So this unit's extremely basic. On the side, we're going to have our 2 USB ports, and then on the top, we're going to have the on-off switch. Now, these are traditional USB-A. This does not have any USB-C on it whatsoever. From there, you simply put it onto your standard 18 volt 1+ battery. Now, I've tried this multiple times. I've done multiple takes on this, and this is a problem with this little booger. This one, I don't have a lick problem with it. Pull it off, put it on. This thing works great. doesn't have an issue. This one, you have to have it in just the right position to get it to go down. So a little bit lower on the fit and finish than what I'm used to with Ryobi. They normally do a really good job with them, and this one just kind of lackluster as far as getting it consistently pushed in. But get it plugged in, turn on the power, and you now have USB output that is in here. Now, this one I picked up for $20 on sale at my Home Depot. The reason I did that was because it came with a spare battery. This is easily $20 for a 1.5 amp hour battery. That's a really good price for just the battery. And I got the bonus of this little charger. Now, am I gonna use this thing very frequently? Me? No, not really, but I will use it from time to time. There are times whenever you're at the job site and you simply want something that is low power consumption, and this is going to consume less power than this one. As soon as you turn this one on, you have power going to the converter. That is going to drain your battery. With this one, you have power going to it, but it is only going to the USB, and there is a difference going to the USB than going to a 120 volt plug. So there is a difference between the two. Now, this one is still for sale at the big box store right now. This one's going currently for $49. This one is still for sale at the box store right now, and it's up to $29 for this particular tool with the battery. Of the two, which one would I recommend to you? That depends, unfortunately, on what you're doing with it. I wish I could give you a concrete answer. If you're just doing USB and that's all you're ever gonna do with it, this one's actually really good. The fact that it's not going to drain your battery trying to power a 120 volt plug, that is going to make this one way more worthwhile. However, if you ever think that you might be in a situation where you need a 120 volt outlet with a low power consumption item, like a small TV, for example, then this would actually be really good. And I would go with this one, even though it's a little bit more and it's tool only. I still believe the value is better with this one because it has more features with it. One of the things I would really like to see changed on this one, I want to see USB-C on it. It doesn't have to be a high output, but allow us to have a USB-C output. A flashlight would be really nice. And the other thing I would love to see, give me an input for this to where I can plug it in and it charges. Because if you look at this, there's not much functionality built within this. Most of it is right here at this system. And I understand the idea behind this, but if you want to give this to somebody in a dorm room as a backup solution, if they just had a plug that plugged into here, that would be really slick. If this could charge going to the battery as well as out of the battery, depending on your situation, that'd be really smart. Now, obviously they have a lot of different inverters out there. And if you've picked up one of their big inverters, because I know you can take the 18 volt, slap a lot of them into it and you get a big output. How do those work for you? I definitely am curious about those. I want to get the 40 volts as well and see how those work, but I'm just curious. If you have one, post it in the comments below. Let me know how they work. This one's been amazing for me. I've not had any problems with it whatsoever. I've not had experience with this one yet, but typical Ryobi, it's going to be good. So how did yours work for you? If you already have one of these, post it in the comments below and let me know how you have used it, especially if you have frequently used the 120 volt plug that is in here. What have you been able to power with it, and has it ever come in for a true lifesaver for you? Well, thank you very much for coming on this short little video here on these different power inverters. We definitely appreciate your time for this video. If you have any questions about these two particular tools, please leave it in the comments below, and of course any of the other videos that I've put out there, because we love hearing from everybody in regards to these videos, especially great comments like this one. Thank you very much for leaving that comment, and remember, keep your tools sharp and your batteries charged. We'll catch you on the next one.